You're falling toward the largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter. From a distance, it almost looks inviting. Bright bands of orange, white, and brown stretch across its enormous body, twisting and swirling like a giant marble. But that beauty is deceiving. The closer you get, the more you realize you're not heading toward a surface at all. You're diving straight into a colossal storm. Jupiter isn't like Earth or Mars. There's no ground to break your fall. Instead, you're greeted by an endless expanse of gas. Its outer layers are made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium, the same elements that fuel stars. You'd expect to land somewhere, but on Jupiter, there's nothing solid to land on. You just keep sinking, pulled faster and faster by the planet's immense gravity. And that gravity, it's crushing. Jupiter is more than 300 times more massive than Earth. If you weighed 150 pounds here, you'd feel like you weighed over 350 pounds just standing still. But you're not standing, you're falling, down through clouds so massive they could swallow Earth whole. At first, the upper atmosphere looks calm. Wispy streaks of ammonia ice drift by, glowing in sunlight. But the deeper you go, the sky turns darker, thicker, and more hostile. You're plunging into weather patterns unlike anything you've ever imagined. Jupiter's famous Great Red Spot is larger than Earth itself and has been raging for centuries. Falling anywhere near it would be like diving into a hurricane with winds over 400 miles per hour. Still, the clouds keep pulling you down. There's no bottom, no place to stop, no escape. Just layer after layer of gas waiting to engulf you. And as you sink, you start to feel something new, pressure. Because the further down you go, the more Jupiter begins to crush you. The pressure hits you almost immediately. At first, it feels like diving into the deep ocean back on Earth. But here, every second you fall is like plunging miles deeper underwater without a submarine to protect you. On Earth, the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, crushes with a pressure of about 8 tons per square inch. Jupiter's atmosphere makes that look like child's play. Within minutes, the force around you is dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of times greater than anything you've ever felt. Your body wouldn't stand a chance. Your lungs would collapse instantly. Your bones would compress until they shattered. And even if somehow you were shielded in a reinforced craft, the metal would begin to buckle as if the planet itself was squeezing it like a soda can. But Jupiter isn't just squeezing, it's pulling. Its gravity drags you deeper and deeper, past the swirling ammonia clouds that once seemed so harmless. You're entering a world of hydrogen and helium gas stacked in endless layers. Each mile down feels like stepping into another universe. As you continue falling, the atmosphere grows denser. What started as thin, wispy gas becomes thicker, heavier. So much so that breathing would be impossible even if the pressure didn't crush you. The air isn't really air at all, but a suffocating mixture that only gets stranger the deeper you go. By now, the sunlight above has disappeared. Darkness presses in, broken only by flashes of lightning that crackle across the gas layers. And these aren't the lightning bolts you know from Earth. Some are 10 times more powerful, illuminating entire regions of sky for brief, terrifying moments. Imagine free-falling through a thunderstorm, so massive it stretches farther than the diameter of Earth itself. And yet, even here, you're still only at the outer edges of Jupiter's atmosphere. Deeper down lies something far worse. As the pressure mounts, another enemy begins to awaken, heat. Because the further you fall, the colder it should get. But on Jupiter, the rules are different. Here, the deeper you go, the hotter it becomes. At first, the descent is freezing. Near the upper clouds, temperatures hover around minus 230 degrees Fahrenheit. It's colder than Antarctica's harshest winter, cold enough to freeze any exposed skin instantly. But as you fall deeper, the freeze begins to fade, and then the heat arrives. Layer by layer, the temperature climbs higher. What started as icy cold turns into a furnace. A few hundred miles down, the air around you burns hotter than molten lava, thousands of degrees. This is no ordinary fire. This is heat created by the crushing pressure of Jupiter's atmosphere squeezing hydrogen molecules closer and closer together. Eventually, the gas transforms into something entirely alien. Liquid metallic hydrogen. Picture hydrogen, one of the simplest, lightest elements in the universe, compressed so tightly that it behaves like a metal, conducting electricity like molten steel. Scientists believe this strange state of matter fills much of Jupiter's interior, swirling in vast, stormy layers you could never survive entering. By now, you would already be gone. The soaring heat would have vaporized every trace of you long before you even reached these depths. Even a spacecraft built with the toughest materials known to humanity would melt and dissolve into the chaos. But while you'd never make it further, the planet itself doesn't stop. The temperature keeps rising, the pressure keeps building, and somewhere far below all this crushing heat and strange metallic hydrogen lies Jupiter's greatest secret, the core. What exactly waits there? No one can say for certain. Is it a dense ball of rock and ice, or something far stranger? The deeper you imagine going, the more mysterious it becomes. And it's that mystery, the unknown heart of a giant, that makes Jupiter even more terrifying. So what's at the center of Jupiter? The truth is, we don't really know. No human has ever come close, and no spacecraft has survived the journey deep enough to confirm it. What we have are theories, and each one is stranger than the last. Some scientists believe that buried beneath Jupiter's violent atmosphere lies a solid core. Imagine a rocky ball, perhaps 10 to 20 times the mass of Earth, compressed under unimaginable weight. If it exists, it would be hotter and denser than anything you could stand near. So extreme that the very concept of rock, or metal, might not mean the same thing as it does on Earth. But other models tell a different story. They suggest that instead of a neat, compact ball, Jupiter's heart is more like a vast, slushy ocean of elements. A strange soup of hydrogen, helium, and heavier materials swirled together under such pressure that they blur the line between solid and liquid. In this version, the core isn't something you could stand on or even see. It's an endless transition zone where matter itself breaks the rules we're familiar with. Juno, the spacecraft orbiting Jupiter right now, has given us some of the best clues so far. By carefully measuring the way Jupiter's gravity tugs on the probe, scientists have detected hints that the core might actually be fuzzy. That means the traditional picture of a dense, compact center may be wrong. Instead, the core could be sprawling, partially dissolved, and spread out across half the planet's radius. Think about that. At the very heart of the largest planet in our solar system, we may not find a single structure at all, just a chaotic, uncertain mix of crushed elements. But whether it's solid, slushy, or fuzzy, one thing is clear: no human will ever reach it alive. The pressures are too high, the heat too intense, and the journey too long. All we can do is imagine what lies below. And when you step back to consider it, that mystery reveals something bigger, not just about Jupiter, but about the very nature of planets themselves. Falling into Jupiter is a journey no human could ever survive. Long before you reach the core, the crushing pressure, the searing heat, and the strange metallic oceans would erase you from existence. But that doesn't make the story pointless. In fact, it makes it even more meaningful. Because when you look at Jupiter, you're seeing a world completely unlike our own. Earth is built on solid ground, with a surface you can walk on and air you can breathe. Jupiter, it's a planet without a surface, a giant sphere of storms and gas where the rules of survival are rewritten at every layer. That difference tells us something crucial about our place in the universe. Not every planet is built for life. In fact, most are not. Worlds like Jupiter remind us that Earth is rare, fragile, and uniquely balanced to support us. Without it, we wouldn't be here. And yet, Jupiter also protects us. Its enormous gravity acts like a shield, pulling in comets and asteroids that might otherwise smash into Earth. In a strange way, this giant we could never set foot on has been one of the reasons life on our world has endured. So, what if you fell into Jupiter? You wouldn't last more than moments, but imagining the fall gives us a glimpse of just how alien gas giants truly are. They're not just bigger versions of Earth. They're entirely different kinds of worlds, with secrets we're only beginning to uncover. And here's the thought that lingers. If a planet in our own solar system can be this strange, what other mysteries are waiting out there, orbiting distant stars? Because as hostile as Jupiter is, it's only one example. Beyond it, countless giants are hiding in the dark, worlds stranger, deadlier, and more mysterious than anything we've ever seen.